Welcome back to the show, everybody.
It's a pest control, guys. What are we talking about today?
Termites. It's our third installment.
Yep, we're continuing to talk about termites, so stay tuned for that. Okay, so today we're not going to be doing a termite job, but we're going to talk about the stuff that goes wrong, right?
Right.
And what we've talked about, how to do a right inspection. We've talked about paperwork, what you're supposed to get. We're going to be careful and talk about the things that go wrong, that companies do either to maybe cheat us a little bit or not quite do what they're supposed to. So this is going to help keep them honest.
And sometimes it's the technician not being responsible and doing the job properly.
Right, right. So let's start with products.
Products.
Right? So there's two types of products if we're talking about liquid. Well, let's see. So number one.
Pretty nice writing there.
No, it's not. Is that spelled right?
Yes.
Okay, so there's two types of treatments. Liquid and bait station, those are the main. If anybody else tries to pitch you something else, you want to steer clear, obviously. So let's talk about the difference. So if there's liquid barrier treatments, what does that mean?
So that means that you're applying a liquid barrier around the home or the area where you have a termite activity. So there's two different types of liquid barrier treatments. You have a full liquid barrier treatment, which means that you're treating the full barrier around the home or interior, depending on if they have issues on the inside, or you can do a spot treatment, depending on the severity of the issues.
I drew a house.
I was wondering what that was.
Look, here's the garage, here's my driveway,
There you go.
here's my sidewalk, here's my house with my fancy roof. I even have a patio on the back.
Oh, almost every home does.
So what do you mean liquid barrier? Where do we put a liquid barrier?
So the liquid barrier is going to go around the property. So we're going to trench around any area that we have dirt around the home.
You're gonna trench up my beautiful driveway?
No, this is actually going to get drilled. So in anywhere there's concrete, we're going to put drills. We're going to drill every 18 inches, and we're going to apply product underneath the concrete, so that way it's protected. The home's protected. So we're going to come around. We've got a patio here. Now, depending on your patio or deck and what that looks like, we can either go underneath or we'll have to have boards removed to go above and apply the treatment, but it's very...
Well, if it's cement, what do you do?
So like, if it's cement, then again, we'll just drill.
Oh, okay.
It's very important to apply the product properly. Because if you don't, well, then it doesn't work right? So this is your barrier, a full liquid barrier would be around the exterior of your home. It's going to be something like that. One thing that we've run into on people that, companies that maybe aren't doing their job well is we took a look at a home just last week, and they had hired a company to come out to do termite treatment, and they were questioning whether the job was done right or not, so they called us, and I went out to take a look. And unfortunately with that customer, there was no trenching. So you would literally see the trenching around the foundation. You can see where the dirt has been disturbed. So there was no trenching around the home, but they had a full liquid barrier. So I don't understand. Supposedly. So we have no trenching around the home.
What they say in the law is allegedly.
And then also, and additionally, there were drill marks at the front step about every 18 inches. Our product's 18, some other products are 12 depending, but they have to be there to be treated properly. And as we go across the driveway, it was only half done, and in the back it wasn't done at all. So it appeared to us that the only treatment that was done on the home was the front steps and a partial driveway treatment, which obviously isn't what the customer paid for.
So not a full liquid barrier. So maybe I'll have to write that. Liquid barrier.
Yeah, that's the key. It's a barrier. It's just like how we treat around the home. It's putting a moat around your home, treating your home to keep the pests out.
So we're bringing this up because we want you guys to understand that there are companies that don't do it properly, whether it's the technician or the way they sold it. Sometimes people will do stuff just to get the cheapest price.
Absolutely.
So beware of the cheapest price because you're probably getting inferior treatment. So another thing I want to talk about with liquid barrier is there's two types. There's a repellent barrier and there's a non-repellent barrier. So the difference between those is a repellent, termites can sense.
Correct. So they want to stay away from it.
And a non-repellent, they don't know it's there.
Right.
So it's likely if they're going into the house and you put a non-repellent barrier out, they're still going to go through it. And what's the beauty in that?
Well, the beauty in that is that they don't know it's there, so they're just going to be acting like everything's normal. They're going to be going through the product. They're going to be going back to the colony, and they're very social creatures, just like ants. So what happens then is they're taking the product back to the colony, and it's eradicating the colony itself.
Yeah,
so
they're going to get the product that's on them. They're going to rub up against each other. They're going to transfer it. They're going to kill everybody.
So not only are we protecting the home from termites, but we're actually eradicating the colonies and solving the problem at its source.
Next, repellent barrier. What's the problem with the repellent barrier? So I put it down. They know it's there. What are they going to do?
Well, so it's going to kill in contact, right?
But is it a problem to use a repellent barrier?
Yeah, well, it is. So here's why. It's going to kill on contact. It's going to take care of. But the termites.
If I know that there's an electric fence, I'm going to go somewhere else. Right. I'm going to find a different way in.
Yeah.
And sometimes that can happen. Now, some companies have different opinions on this, but if I know it's there, I'm going to try and find a different way in.
Right. The thing about these products are non-repellents. They're not going to last as long. And so what's going to happen is the termites are going to stay out in the yard, right? They're going to stay on the property. They're going to continue to eat the roots and different things around the property.
Ruin my house.
And as soon as, well, the termites got it. You see what happens when you use it? When you use a repellent, the termites will tear your walls out. So with the repellent, you kind of have a false sense of security. What's going to happen is, oh, my home's protected. I've done my treatment. And then the repellent's going to go away and the termites are going to come back and eat the house. So you're not getting rid of the problem. It's really just a false sense of security and a waste of money if you ask me.
Gotcha. So let's talk about prices. So you can buy product A, B, C, whether it's repellent or non-repellent. And one is going to be the highest price and one's going to be middle and one's going to be lowest. Is there difference in grades?
Yeah, there absolutely is. And Ben, I have to go back to the old saying, you get what you pay for. You definitely don't want the lowest price product because it's not going to work, right? Or it's not going to work as well.
It could work. It may not work as well. So we recommend a product that is basically the most expensive. And that's what we decided to use because we found that it's the best. And it offers the best warranty overall.
And its reputation. We have a reputation to uphold and we want to make sure our customers have the best.
So we do a liquid barrier, and it is a non-repellent, and it is a full liquid barrier around the house. Now that is a lot, and it does cost more than some of the other stuff. So there are products that are cheaper. They say liquid barrier. You've got to do your research and figure out what they're using and where they're putting it.
So let's talk about what you should see after a proper liquid barrier treatment's been done around your home.
So we're here at my house. What do I look for?
So what we're going to be making sure we look for are the drill holes in any concrete areas, right? So you're going to see where they had drilled and they should have put a plug and covered it up with concrete. Those are things that you're going to see. And then you should see disturbance in the soil around the foundation of the home, around the full foundation of the home, full liquid barrier, correct?
Yeah.
And so you'll see that the dirt's been disturbed or soil has been disturbed around the home, and that's how you'll know that at least they've done that part well.
Okay, so one thing we want to be careful of is when you're trying to get a liquid barrier treatment, that you don't get a partial or a spot treatment if you're expecting the whole thing. So like the example you said where they only did half of the driveway and we could only see, some trenching or whatever, what does that do to the treatment? So if they had termites here, let's say, and maybe some over here, why can't we just do just those areas?
Well, first of all, this company was using a repellent. Okay, so we got the information on what products they were, so they were using a repellent. So basically all they did on their spot treatment is they pushed the termites to another part of the home. So that's what happened.
Gotcha. So you want to be careful and make sure that if you're paying for a full liquid barrier that you're getting it all the way around. Otherwise, especially with a repellent, you're going to be pushing them to maybe better, newer parts of your home that aren't damaged already.
Yeah, if you don't take out the colony, they're gonna find another food source. I mean, they have to live just like anything else. So, if you're not taking out the colony, they're gonna come and find the food source.
Is it okay to do a spot treatment?
Yeah,
Let's say I'm selling my house and they find termites on one corner, and I don't want to pay for the whole thing because the next person doesn't care.
Well, it needs to be determined by a professional if you can actually, if a spot treatment will be effective or not. So it needs to be inspected by a professional, and then a professional can therefore determine whether a spot treatment would be recommended for that home or a full liquid barrier.
But if we do a spot treatment, or if they do a spot treatment, it has to be a non-repellent. Otherwise, you're probably making your problem worse.
Yeah, that's just not smart.
All right, so I started editing through this video for termites and realized that we were gonna just be too long. We talked too long, as we always do. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna stop it here. We're gonna pick up the second half of this, which is gonna be about bait stations in the next one. So you'll have to stay tuned for that.
All right, so we will probably continue to talk about termites in the future, but
Absolutely.
we are just trying to give you some information that's useful so that you guys can protect yourselves and your home. It is your biggest investment. It's the prettiest house you've had, right?
Yep.
So that's it for today.
Yep.
I'm Ben.
I'm Kevin.
And we're the Pest Control guys. We'll see you next time.
Welcome back to the show, everybody.
Wait. Count to 3 and then start.
I'm a fast counter. Welcome back, everybody.
That's it? That's your start?
So when that repellent goes away, you have a full sense of security.
All right, so
Lost the flow, baby.